Good afternoon. My name is Eric Brown, and today we're going to be talking on the topic of laundry crew. So, laundry crew is pretty self-explanatory. You do laundry. You have these two giant bins, like laundry bins, and one's clean and one is dirty. So, when you do your details in the morning, you generally will have dirty clothes you have sweaty clothes from PT or maybe dirty ABUs. So, you throw your clothes in there. As laundry crew, everyone will have mesh bags, and tell everyone, or if you're doing this, tie your mesh bags so that because what's going to happen is you have your mesh bag and it's got a zipper, and if you throw them all in there, the zippers are going to get caught up on each other. And if you tie your mesh bag, it really reduces it, and also make sure that the zipper doesn't open well in the washer, and so that way you don't lose socks and shirts, because a lot of people only have one shirt, but then they didn't tie their laundry bag, and they also didn't mark their clothes very well. So as laundry crew, you're gonna get a lot of excuse my language, but you're gonna get a lot of crap for it, especially if you don't know how to multitask. So what you do is you put your stuff in the washer. And it's pretty self-explanatory. You only need to put in one Tide Pod. Don't eat the Tide Pods. Don't have anyone else eat the Tide Pods. You're not going to die from a Tide Pod. And if you just don't eat Tide Pod. So you wash your clothes. And during the duty day, always have laundry running. So as soon as you wake up, have clothes in the washer. And then once that's done, put them in the dryer. The only rule is you can leave clothes in the dryer, but you can't leave clothes in the washer, especially overnight, because if you leave clothes in the washer overnight, you have that lid closed, and it's going to build up mold and mildew, and it's just not good for the clothes. Also, it's going to be a pain to clean up. And most likely, it usually doesn't happen overnight. It just happens over like a course of weeks. But they tell you to do that so it never happens. You never have to worry about mold and mildew. Again, conservation of utilities. Those washer and dryer machines are fairly new, so just make sure that they're still serviceable. When you do laundry, you can keep laundry in that big clean bin. Try and do laundry every night. And something that a good friend of mine during basic training, what he came up with, again, it's in the Google Drive folder, it's called Stiltner's List. So what it is, so for example, let's just say A123. So A, let's say Johnny at Apple was in basic training, and his last four of his social was 1234, and then his bed number is, let's say, bed number 1, so he would be an A bay, and you do that for everyone, so that way when you're handing out laundry, have your MTI make copies. So we had copies, and so what we do is we would have what's called laundry train, and it would be not in the main hallway. That's too much. You'd be in the back of the bay, and so you just have everyone just goes around. Oh, you'll have your clipboard. So have your laundry mark on your clipboard, and you'll go around the bay, and you'll just be dropping off laundry. It should only take about 10-20 minutes. You'll have lazy people. You have people that would be folding their own laundry, and that's not cool. That's not cool at all. But it's a process. I'm just telling you this so that you don't spend like an hour trying to put laundry away and wasting time. So that's laundry train. There's another thing that we came up with called laundry ball. So if you don't have everyone there, let's say you're all at some sort of appointment or something, and you only have about 10 people. So you have the list, and you have the bin. You have 2 people on either side, and you have people scattered all around that center aisle. So what you do is you look at it, you look at the laundry tag, you look at the list, you see the bed number, and you say 42, 42, 42, and you drop it on bed 42. And that's really tedious, but you technically get laundry done a little bit faster that way, so you don't have to walk all the way around. You just toss it. So that's the laundry crew. You don't hand out the laundry. Everyone, it's a team effort to hand out the laundry. Really get on top of that laundry. So with the multitasking, you have to make sure that you have a constant flow of laundry because you have 52 people's laundry to do, and it's hard. You'll have 3 washer machines, 4 dryer machines, and you'll have to separate them in whites, darks, and colors. Darks and colors can technically be together, but whites and colors have to be separate. So that's the laundry crew. Utility crew, so they're both in the same room. If you're a utility crew, that is a really hard one. So all the equipment that you hand out, the spray bottles, the rags, the brooms, the dustpans, anything. Oh, you also have to make sure that your sprays are well stocked, and you have to go to a completely different place to get them refilled. And you have to make sure you have enough toilet paper and paper towels. That's really hard to keep up with, especially if you have 52 people using the bathroom at the same time, latrine, throughout the day, and you use up a lot of toilet paper. So that's one of the hardest ones because you have to make sure that room is completely spotless. And any speck of dust, even the littlest thing, is counted as a demerit, and it really sucks. It really is hard to get that cleaned up and squared away. So it's a team effort to do all the details. So like latrine crew is going to use the squeegees and the spray bottles and whatnot. So when you use the squeegee, just make sure you clean up your stuff. So when you have your broom, like pick through the dust so that way there's no dust and you're not carrying any of that dust. In the utility crew, one, you're doing a service to them, and you're making sure that you have clean equipment when you get it back. So it's kind of like a win-win. What's next? So that's utility crew. Latrine crew is the worst. It's not fun. It is not fun at all. Especially as latrine chief, you see that inspection seat and you see a fail every single time. It's like it hurts in the chest, especially when you just try so hard, and it's hard. There's a lot of tips and tricks. I'm just going to get into that. So you have sinks, mirrors, toilets, showers, chrome floors. Those are like 6 main things. So how do I get into it? Again, look in the Google Drive folder. There should be some sort of details folder. So let's get into what they hit up the most, which is sinks. It's chrome. It's always generally sinks. So let's talk about sinks. You have yellow spray, you have pink spray, blue spray, green spray, yellow spray. How do we get into that? And chrome spray, also known as white spray. So you use yellow spray, which is just a general multi-service peroxide cleaner. So you use that on the sinks, and you use a yellow rag. So yellow rag, yellow sink. Think that. So you clean the sink. So it's just going to be a general looking sink. Oh, gee. I don't know how to give you an image because I'm just rolling off. I'm just going off of my phone right now. So you have your sink, and you have to make sure you have to wipe it, and you have to wipe the bottom too, and you have to make sure the chrome on the bottom gets cleaned as well. So that's sinks. What's the hardest is the sink faucet. The inside can technically be wet. So if you have those like quick floss with the toothpick part, take that toothpick and just like go around that faucet, not the faucet, the bottom part, the drain, yes, on the drain, and make sure there's no green scum. I don't know what the word is. Make sure there's like no buildup. And then you have to make sure there's no hair. So a great trick that we use is we use a lint roller and we just tap it on there and picks up any and all hair. So that's sinks. That's a great tip for that. Toilets isn't really too bad. You use the pink spray and use a pink rag for that. And you have to have gloves on. You have to have gloves on every time you do that. So what you do is you spray it, and you have to leave it there for about 3 to 5 minutes to let the chemicals soak in. And then you wipe it down. It's not that hard. If you're in Disneyland, there's about 11, 12 toilets, and then there's about 15, 16 sinks. Some of the, so we had a sink that wouldn't work. So we were down one sink and we were down a couple. Oh no, we were down a toilet and down a couple sinks as I was. Excuse me. So that's that. And then mirrors. So with the mirrors, you use the blue spray and blue rag. Think Windex. Just think of Windex that way. So you have to spray it. What you do is you do up and down first, and then left and right first. But there's still going to be hair from the microfiber rag. So what do? You have a mesh bag. So have that one guy or gal that's dedicated to mirrors. Have them have a mesh bag that is specifically for mirrors. So what you do is you get that mesh bag and you do left to right. And what it does is it picks up all the little tiny hairs that the microfiber cloth leaves behind. And that's how you do it. And how you look at it to see if it's clean. So you see the mirror and you have to look at it from an angle, from like almost parallel. And you have to look around. And you see something, clear your mouth so you don't actually spit. And you have to like blow on any dust. So that's really stringent. What's next? Chrome. So when you're chrome, you have the white spray and a green rag. And it's a water-based polisher. So you have to make sure the tops of the stall dividers and the tops of the mirrors have no dust. So the main things you have to clean are those. Make sure there's no dust on the chrome, and just polish everything. Polish the main spots you gotta polish is that toilet seat sensor. So it's not like a handle flush. It's weird. So it's like it's automatic. Should be automatic, but also has like a little push in button that you use in case if it doesn't work. So you have to make sure that gets clean. And then you have to make sure, so there's going to be like a little utility, like a little shelf on this in front of the sink. You have to make sure that gets polished. Get the underside too, because what the MTIs are going to do is when they inspect, they're going to look at it. Okay, it looks cool. They're going to put their finger under it. They're going to look, and there's going to be dust. Make sure there's no dust. So that's chrome. Showers. So showers, you just have to make sure that the floors are clean. And yeah, just make sure the floors are clean. And spray the shower heads with the yellow spray. You use yellow spray. And it's probably, there's a little trick that they use where they had a yellow rag, or it doesn't matter, yellow or green rag. And you wet it, you get the rag wet and you wring it out and you clean it that way. I don't know if that works or not. You have to make sure the walls are clean too. That's that. Make sure there's no hair. You're going to get a lot of hair, especially for men or ladies. You're going to get a lot of hair in the showers, so make sure you sweep that up. What else? What's next? So what I did as latrine chief is I went around the toilets and I made sure that the toilet papers were stocked and I made sure that the paper towels were stocked. It's called a cow key. Depending on what kind of dorm or what kind of situation you have, ask the MTIs if you can have a cow key, and it's the key that you use to get into the toilet paper dispenser. And also make sure that the soap was also stocked. It was about second week of training. They actually changed the soap. They changed a lot of things about basic training, and they changed the soap. It's like a weird, something that probably you'll never hear from anyone else. But they changed the soap, and it's a different kind of soap where it's still foam soap, but like you could like use it as many times. I think so. The soap is so concentrated and it's very it lasts a long time, and we only had to change a soap dispenser like once, and some of them we didn't have to change the soap the entirety of basic training, which is pretty crazy. And then what I did is, as latrine chief, is I got a green rag and I just dusted around anywhere that needed to be looked at. So you'll have a phone inside the latrine. You've probably never heard that before. Yes, there is a phone inside the latrine. However, it is only closed off to the squadron, or closed off to closed off to the squadron. The only people you can call is the chaplain, 24 hours, the first sergeant, 24 hours, sexual assault, 24 hours, or I think those are or CQ, or you could call CQ, which is 24 hours. There technically is a way, there's like a number combination, I think, where you can get out of it. I've never tried it, but I read it somewhere. It was here a while in tech school. Something I read, you dial like something something and then the rest of the number to get out of the line. Because there's also phones here. Don't do that though. Don't be stupid. So that's the phone. You clean the phone and you clean the door. So clean like the overtop, like the hinge, and then there's an emergency exit. So clean that as well. And the tops of the toilet, the paper towel dispensers, and the top of the soap dispensers. Make sure there is no dust and no hair. Those are the only 2 requirements. Make sure everything is spotless. This sounds pretty simple. So that was pretty much almost every single detail. The only thing I have left to talk about is EC monitor and guide on bearer. So with guide on bearer, pretty much if you don't know how to be guide on bearer, don't be guide on bearer. There's probably going to be someone in your flight that knows how to be a guide on bearer because they probably had ROTC experience. It's a lot to explain with guide on bearer. You have the staff and you do tricks, or not tricks, you do things with this. You have a complete different set of facing movements than everyone else. And then EC monitor, I guess I'm gonna talk about EC monitor as well. So when you're EC monitor, you pretty much make the schedule for people having EC shifts. Oh man, EC. It's not fun. I was talking about 2 to 4 shifts one time. You don't want that. EC is your door guard. That's the only way I'm going to explain it. I don't want to overwhelm you. So if you have any other questions, you know how to hit me up. You're probably smart enough to do your own research to stalk me. So with that, yeah, I'm going to go. Have a good night.